We are the boat-side travelers. Welcome to Budapest.
The city of Budapest has been created by the merger of three neighboring cities, Buda and Óbuda, on the west bank of the Danube, with Pest on the east bank.
Budapest is two cities in one. So on the left hand side of the Danube, you can see Buda, and on the right hand side, there is Pest. So altogether, they form Budapest, the great city of Budapest.
Budapest is home to the third largest parliament building in the world, home to the second largest synagogue in the world, and it has the oldest subway line in mainland Europe. With our 3 days packed itinerary, we hope to satiate our passion of sightseeing with this city, rich in historical and beautiful sights. In these 3 days, we will sightsee, amongst others, St. Stephen Basilica, Buda Castel, Fisherman's Bastion, Hungary House of Parliament, Euro Square, and many more.
I suggest you to go to Margaret Island. There you can rent a bike, rent a big bike where you can leave.
And we hope this will inspire you for your next sightseeing adventure to Budapest. Day 1. The Chain Bridge, St. Stephen's Basilica, Hungarian House of Parliament, Central Market Hall. The Széchenyi Chain Bridge is one of the best known landmarks of Budapest. It is the first permanent connection between Buda and Pest. The bridge is 375 meters long and 16 meters wide. You can walk across it from Buda to Pest and back, an excellent way to absorb the World Heritage Protected Site.
The Széchenyi Chain Bridge spans the Danube River between Buda and Pest, the western and eastern parts of the city.
The main driving force behind the project was the Hungarian Count Istvan Széchenyi. For centuries, only a pontoon bridge connected Buda and Pest. In December 1820, he received the news that his father had died in Vienna. Because of the hard winter, the pontoon bridge was out of use. Stranded on the Pest side for a week, Count Széchenyi vowed that he would finance construction of a permanent bridge over the Danube. The chain bridge physically united Buda, the ancient capital of Hungary, with the city of Pest on the east bank of the Danube. Connecting the two sides led to the cities eventually merging to create Budapest in 1873. From the Széchenyi Chain Bridge, the next stop is St. Stephen's Basilica, a 13-minute bus ride. However, before reaching St. Stephen's Basilica, we stumbled across this fantastic free Segway trail. We could not miss the opportunity.
You try?
Am I supposed to try on
Come on,
this?
it's fun, man.
Just standing, okay? Don't try to find. No, listen. Okay, brother. Standing normal. Okay? Hold
St. Stephen's Basilica is the largest church in Budapest and can hold up to 8,500 people. It took more than 50 years to build the basilica. Building commenced in 1851 and the inauguration ceremony took place in 1906. During its construction in 1868, the dome collapsed, and rebuilding it had to start almost from scratch, which explains the delay in basilica's completion. For beautiful panoramic views of Budapest, we had to walk up the stairs. More than 360 steps to reach the top of the basilica. The dome is 96 meters high, the exact same height as the Budapest Parliament building. In fact, current building regulations stipulate that no other structure in Budapest can be taller than 96 meters. Having the same size as the Parliament symbolizes the balance between church and state in Hungary.
We are at the top of St. Stephen's Basilica in Budapest. You can have a great panoramic view of the city of Budapest, and it looks huge, and there is a lot of things to do here. There, I think this is the Budapest House of Parliament.
The beautiful interior is also noteworthy, as it is decorated by famous artists of the era. From St. Stephen's Basilica, there is a 15-minute bus ride to the Hungarian House of Parliament. The Hungarian Parliament is one of the city's most iconic buildings. The stunning architecture is the current seat of the Hungarian Parliament and offers a keen insight into Hungary's political past. Hungary's current Prime Minister and his staff use the office, and a portion of the building is open for visitors. The Parliament building is one of the most stunning government buildings worldwide and enjoys the distinction of being the third largest assembly building in the world.
This is the third largest parliament building in Europe, and inside is also beautiful, and it houses one of the most important treasury of Hungary, the St. Stephen's Holy Crown.
It lies in Lajos Kossuth Square in the bank of the Danube. Lajos Kossuth was a political reformer who inspired and led Hungary's struggle for independence from Austria. A statue is on the right side of Kossuth's Lajos Square looking at the parliament. Besides the Budapest Parliament building itself, the grounds and monuments and statues are plentiful. Each one has its own importance and significance in Hungarian history. A huge Hungarian flag stands in front of the parliament guarded by two guards. We happen to witness the spectacular flag taking down ceremony. The shoes on the Danube bank in front of the Parliament building serve as a moving tribute to the turbulent history of Budapest and those who lost their lives beside the river 70 years ago.
Those shoes is a memorial to honor those people who were shot during the World War II between 1944 and 1945. They were shot by the Arrow Cross militiamen, and they were ordered to take off their shoes so that their body will fall into the water and carried away. So those shoes are to commemorate their memory.
The memorial was erected on the 16th of April 2005 and features 60 pairs of iron forged shoes attached to the stone embankment. From the Hungarian Parliament building, there is a 13-minute tram ride to the Budapest Central Market Hall. The Central Market Hall is the largest indoor market of Budapest. The building is about 120 years old, with an area size of 10,000 square meters, which is covered by a steel structure. You can get all sorts of goods on the 3 floors of the Great Market Hall of Budapest. Fruit, vegetables, dairy products, fantastic salamis, pickles, fresh fish, Hungarian paprika, Tokai wines, various souvenirs, and even home-style meals, or Hungarian snacks like langos at the upper floor food stands and eateries. It is a great place for sampling traditional Hungarian fare at the long buffet tables, while soaking up the atmosphere created by the local market traders.
We are at the Central Market Hall in Budapest. We want to have an insight of what Hungarian people are eating. We are going to do a lot of food tasting, and I'm enjoying it because I'm really hungry at the moment. I've been doing a lot of working, so I'm finally in the market and I'm going to do a lot of food tasting.
How much more you know? I cannot wait to put this on in my mouth, especially the hot one, especially the hot one. It's up and it's really nice. Wow.
One stuffed chicken leg. A bit of cabbage, please pay that.
Spicy, rich, and an extravaganza of different flavors. Hungary's cuisine is a delicious and surprising discovery for many travelers to the country. Hungarian cuisine is mostly continental Central European. Paprika, a quintessential spice often associated with Hungary, is used prominently in a handful of dishes. Goulash is one of the most famous dishes from the Hungarian culinary repertoire. Other popular Hungarian dishes are Fisherman soup prepared from mixed river fish and with a great amount of hot paprika. Langos, a deep-fried flatbread, Hungarians' all-time favorite dish. Stuffed cabbage is quite common in Central Eastern European kitchens.
Rice and sausage and a sour cabbage.
Day 2. Matthias Church, Fisherman's Bastion. Buda Castel, Heroes Square, City Park with Vaidahuniad Castle and Chechny Baths. Located at the very heart of Buda's Castel district, in front of the Fisherman's Bastion, Matthias Church is one of the finest churches in Budapest, and most definitely one of the most unique churches in Europe. Used by Hungarian kings as a coronation church centuries ago, the Church of Our Lady, better known as Matthias Church, looks back on an exceptional long history and is the second best known church of Budapest after St. Stephen's Basilica. It was built in 1015, shortly after the country's conversion to the Christian faith. Its facade is adorned with rich ornamentation, sculptures, and reliefs. With its spectacular panoramic views of Budapest and the Danube and beautiful ornate design, it's easy to see why Fisherman's Bastion is one of the most popular and most recommended tourist destinations in the city.
This Fisherman Bastion is mainly used as a point to have a panoramic view of Pest. It's one of the most important attractions in Buda.
There is a 13-minute walk from the Fisherman's Bastion to the Buda Castel. Buda Castel is one of the most emblematic architectural masterpieces of the cityscape. and the buildings easiest to recognize from the pest side of the Danube. The imposing Buda Castel overlooks the city from its elevated position atop Castle Hill, rising 48 meters above Danube. You can get to the castle on foot by using numerous electric 14-seaters open-air buses available, and by taking the Budapest Castle Hill funicular.
We just crossed the Chechen Bridge, and we are now at the Buda part of Budapest, because the city is Budapest divided to two big parts, Buda and Pest. The Budapest funicular Castle Hill links the Adam Clark Square and the Chechen Bridge at the Danube River level to the Buda Castel above.
We have chosen to get to the castle by using the electric bus to have more views of Buda. And we stumbled across the lucky balls of Andras Hadic's horse. The testicles of the horse of Andras Hadic are huge, well-proportioned, golden, and provide the chosen ones who can touch it with luck. The castle has a tumultuous history that reflects the ups and downs of Hungary's fortunes. The castle was home to the kings of Hungary from the 13th century. Medieval walls and few buildings have survived from that period, but the district underwent a major transformation in the 19th century.
The former royal palace has been raised and rebuilt at least half a dozen times for the last 7 centuries. So now the palace contains the Hungarian National Gallery, the National Checheni Library, and the Castle Museum.
A 24-minute bus ride will take you from Buda Castel to the Heroes Square. Laid out in 1896 to mark the 1000th anniversary of Hungary, Heroes Square is the largest and most impressive square of the city.
This is the largest and most symbolic square in Budapest.
Heroes Square is surrounded by two important buildings: the Museum of Fine Arts on the left and Hall of Art on the right. The Millennium Monument in the middle of the square was erected to commemorate the 1000-year-old history of the Magyars. The Magyar tribes were the fundamental political unit within whose framework the Hungarians lived, until these clans from the region of Ural Mountain invaded the Carpathian Basin and established the Principality of Hungary. Archangel Gabriel stands on the top of the central pillar, holding the Holy Crown and the double cross of Christianity. The 7 chieftains who led the Magyar tribes to Hungary can be seen on the stand below. Statues of kings and other important historical figures stand on top of the colonnades on either side of the central pillar. The Eros Square is located at the entrance of the Budapest City Park. The City Park is the largest park in Budapest. It is the first public park in the world. Buda Castel in the City Park, a replica of a Transylvanian castle of that name, was built to show the various architectural styles found in Hungary. The castle is surrounded by an artificial lake that is used for boating in the summer and turns into an impressive ice skating rink in the winter. Different cultural activities are organized in the city park. We stumbled across the Rosalia Festival, a rosé and sparkling wine festival, in which features also local street food treats, like the chimney cake, a spit cake specific to Hungary. Earlier a festive treat, now it is part of everyday consumption. The Budapest Zoo, the amusement park, the municipal circus, the Museum of Transport, the legendary gondola restaurant, and the famous Széchenyi baths are also located within the city park. Széchenyi bath is the biggest and most popular of all the thermal baths in Budapest. What is more, it is one of the biggest natural hot spring spa baths in Europe too. The 18 pools in Széchenyi bath is open every single day throughout the year, including national holidays. Day 3. Citadella, the House of Terror Museum. The fortress atop Gerard Hill, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Citadel, is a truly emblematic symbol in Budapest. Even though it was originally built by the Habsburgs, Austrians ruling over Hungary, after the end of the Revolution of 1848-1849, as an intimidating edifice to Hungarians. Today, the Citadel is a symbol of freedom. It is also an excellent lookout point over the beautiful bridges straddling the curving Danube. The Statue of Liberty atop the hill, depicting a proud lady who has been watching over Budapest since April the 4th, 1947, a remembrance of the Soviet liberation of Hungary from Nazi forces during World War II. Its location up on Gerard Hill makes it a prominent feature of Budapest cityscape.
From Citadella, there is approximately 30-minute bus and metro ride to the House of Terror. The House of Terror is a museum and a monument at the former headquarters of the Communist Secret Police, AVH. Its exhibitions commemorate the victim of the fascist and communist century.
The House of Terror contains exhibits related to the fascist and communist regime of the 20th century Hungary.
and is also a memorial to the victims of those regimes, including those detained, tortured, and killed inside the same building.